I'm Dave D, and you're watching XP Team USA.
What is in the box? Say hello.
Hello.
What's in the box, Bananas? Have a look. What's in it? What is it? What is it? Nelly, what's in the box? Look.
Mini detector.
Mini detector.
Thank you for how many hearts we love them.
No worries, Bonnie.
Thank you for how many hearts we love them.
If
Thank
no-
you for how many hearts we love them.
Good.
It's Thursday, it's 8 o'clock, and it's the big detecting show, which I said right first time, and I only just got on air because I was texting Luke. Hope you're all very well this evening. Let's say hello to people in the chat room, shall we, Mr. Gaylor? How are you, Mr. Gaylor?
Yeah, good, thanks, Dave. Very well, thanks. Yeah, looking forward to seeing you.
Healthy, happy and wealthy?
Yeah, I was very ill on Monday for coronavirus, but it was just a bug. But like you can, yeah, absolutely fine now. Yeah, looking at the people. Hello from Spain. Blimey.
That's that's Nick West.
Nick West. A guy called TC Detects. Not quite sure.
History on Earth, Darren Booth, Nicola Roberts, Colin D, Detecting the Mitten TV. Good evening, all from the US. Good evening, Detecting the Mitten. Be interested to learn what the mitten is.
Well,
your turn. Your turn.
Pete Jackson. Hello, Pete. He's created the Evo 6000 finds and photos on Facebook, which is obviously not that full yet, but hopefully that will grow. Pete's looking at keeping that page populated with the latest finds when the Evo's launch. So well done to him.
Metal Nick Detecting, Tom Trussell, Mr. Kevin Whitmore, who's kindly sent over some images for us to use tonight. Mass Detect, I presume that's his YouTube channel, but also he is... my mind's gone blank! My mind's gone blank! Kev, what's your page called? I forgot what it is. My mind's gone blank. I do apologise. Will Hemo, Oliver Prins from France.
From French.
Scott, one of them, Dave.
Scott from Detector Network from English. Launched his app this week.
Yes, we'll give a shout out to that.
Yeah.
Bob Hope, Pomsey Metal Detecting, XP, Graham Dempsey, last week's guest, Kaylee Ann Hoffman. What you got there? Oh,
Graham kindly sent me the missing brass brush attachment for his cleaning pencil,
oh,
which arrived today. So after the show, I'll do a bit of cleaning
sexy.
on myself and then with the coin.
Will Way, Stan's Lad, Phil Willis, and it's Oaks International. I do apologise, my mind went blank. And Tidy Treasure Hunter, that's Mr. Pettican, Alan Kapitko. So good evening to one and all. It's been a massively busy week. I'm surprised at the amount of metal detecting, high class metal detecting articles that have been this week. It's quite profound. We've actually been able to publish several articles ourselves, and we've still got some to come. The state of Michigan is referred to as the mitten, as it looks like a mitten. There you go. Learn something new every day. Detected Michigan, then. Detected the mitten is Michigan. So, Mr. Producer type person, please could you share the screen? That would be very kind of you. And what am I doing now? Are we doing the news, aren't we? Mine went blank. So, first of all, Australian type person. He's found a rare gold coin while detecting on Saturday night. It's a 1885 gold Sovereign Victoria Younghead, and it could be worth up to £2,500. There he is. Good belly, just like mine.
Nice top.
And there's the coin. Lovely.
Wow.
22 carat gold was made in Sydney in 1885. Features Queen Victoria and St. George on the reverse. Lovely coin.
Get that in a ring.
He runs a Facebook group called Virgin Grounds Metal Detecting. Next up, metal detectorist finds a rare silver coin in a Yorkshire field that could bag him a small fortune. 12th century coin discovered in a field near Pickering is one of only 20 surviving examples of design featuring the Sir Alan Sugar of the time. So there's the coin. That is the only image of the coin that's on here. Rob Brown discovered it in Stubblefield. And it depicts a 12th century Baron Eustace Fitzjohn. Measures just over half an inch and was minted in York and is one of only 20 surviving examples. So, lovely little find that. Oh, there you are. There is. Sorry, I do apologize. So it's Baron Eustace Fitzjohn. Lovely coin, that.
What machine did he have, Dave? Could you see? Out of interest. Just
is that an XP?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Looks like. Doesn't give mention to it anyway. Oh, and there's another image.
Very nice photo.
Isn't it? Lovely.
Very clean hands.
Very much so. Now this one, a teenage metal detector has discovered rare coins in a field. Reese Pickering found a Harold II silver penny dating back to 1066 while detecting in a farmer's field in Topcroft in Norfolk.
That's lovely, that is.
Really it is.
Pleased for him, really pleased for him.
And he's only 17.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a while and he's had some good finds, apparently, I read, but really nice. He goes out of his dad, doesn't he? Not that I know him, that's what I read.
I'm trying to find it.
It was another article.
Well, there's another image anyway. The coin dug up by Walter Taylor depicts... Oh, right, is that another one?
He's had some good finds from what I read, but really nice.
Next is another lovely little one. Dylan and a gold Roman pin. Gold pin discovered on Thanet Beach. Now, is this in the Isle of Wight, if I remember correctly? What's the news article from? The Isle of Thanet News. Where's Thanet? Is that Scotland?
Isn't that on Isle of Wight?
I'll tell you what, I'll do a map search, shall I? Oh, that's not my number.
Thanet.
It's not in Liverpool, I don't know. Thanet.
He's in Thanet. Is it off the
Come on. Thanet.
TH, Dave. TH.
Yeah, no, it's telling me it's in Margate. But that's on...
Kent. Yes, that's correct.
Right, yeah. So there you go.
I should know.
And they are from Margate as well.
Brilliant.
So, yes, Thanet's obviously a... Look at that beautiful gold piece in it. Look at it. How small it is in comparison to a pound coin. Because normally you see the Roman brooches, they're usually much bigger than that, aren't they?
He's done well to find that on a beach. Really well.
Well, they're suggesting it could be Viking, Roman, or Tudor, so they've got a fair outline for it. But well done, that lad. Fantastic. Yeah. Big news. Garrett have acquired the White Electronics brand. So if you remember back, on June the 18th, basically the CEO, Ken White, explained that they would be stopping producing and basically closing the company. But Garrett announced this week that on October the 16th, they had bought the brand and all associated bits and bobs. So it looks like the Warrett's band will be surviving, but under the Garrett umbrella. So that's fantastic news. It was a sad day because I know a lot of people who still use White's machines, and I've had friends in the past who use them and swear by them. So
yeah, I don't
good
think
for them.
I'm not sure if they're keeping the Scottish distribution branch open though.
Right.
I'm not sure how that leads people for repairs or servicing.
That's right. So next up, now this is another article fresh to the website, and this comes via Detector Network. I put on the Detector Network if anybody would like to write any articles and such like for us. We would be happy to publish them. So this came along from Jeremiah Bowes, and it's about the last spike. It's the term used with the final spike to be hammered in the railroad. Now, apparently, this find, gold-looking find, was discovered in, where's the name? Orilla in Ontario in Canada. Now, it is a ceremonial spike, and apparently, when they were using it for the ceremony, it was dropped and lost. And you're talking back in 1946, I think it was, something like that. And during the rest of 1980, they built a new station, 1918, the grand reopening, and the mayor dropped the spike and couldn't find it. So it's a massive piece of history that he's been able to uncover there. So definitely well done to him on that. Beautiful find, isn't it? A gold railway spike.
I like the way the mayor dropped the spike and they couldn't find it. It's classic.
Oh, you naughty mayors, you.
That reminds me on the Detectorist when the mayor lost his neck.
Yeah.
Looking for it. It's one of my favourite bits, those.
And finally, this is another article that it took me a while to publish. This was covered on the Celtic Stags and Mike Smith episode several weeks ago. Now, this is from a Celtic Rag rally, where a Roman patera handle was discovered at their rally. So this goes into a bit of in-depth about how it's found, Craig's words, who was running the events, all the different images of it. And it's a dog's head. How beautiful is that?
It's cool, isn't it?
And basically, it was identified via this show. We were discussing it, and I can't remember who, I do apologise, said it was a Roman patera handle. So they've studied it and found it in depth. And basically, this is what it would look like on a pan. So absolutely fascinating. So thanks for all the information to Danny and her nephew Liam. And that was found of an Optomacro simplex. So there you go. That's that. So I think what I'll do now, Adrian, where have you gone? There you are. What I'll do now, I'll share the screen again. I've had to come off because I've got to alter it and put it on with audio. So I'll share the screen again, and we'll have a bit of a video to introduce our guest this evening. Can you see it all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, good evening to Mr. Martin Bass, Customer Services Manager and General Person known mainly for C-Scope. How are you, sir?
Hello, Dave. Hello, Adrian. I'm very well. How are you guys?
Fantastic. We have the delight of speaking to one of the nicest people in metal detecting tonight, don't we, Mr. Gaylor?
I'm blushing now.
I'm
blushing.
I spoke to Martin a couple of weeks ago about the Evo, and we were on the phone for quite a while. And he's an Essex boy at heart, so
True.
a little bit at heart.
No, I must admit, 5 minutes ago, I was shouting at the screen because I grew up in Thanet. And Dave's going, where is it? It's 30 miles away. North Kent Cup. Grew up, my formative years were spent there.
Yeah. You were born in Essex, weren't you?
Yeah, born in Ilford.
Ilford, yeah, not a million miles.
You know, you're talking about long phone calls. I bet you I beat your hands down. I'm sat there yesterday. I think it was yesterday morning. I'm sat there. I just took the little to school, sat down, didn't even have to go and make a brew, sat down. 2 hours, 45 minutes to Craig from Celtic Stags. For the last half hour, I was going, Craig, gotta go, Craig, gotta go. He's a legend. Never answered the phone. He did. Never ever answered the phone to Craig Hearn.
I won't go down the pub with him. Blimey, that sounds
Oh, love him. He's ace. Anyway, Martin, for the benefit of people who don't know you, give us a brief introduction, if you will.
Yeah, right. Good evening, everyone. I'm, as David said, I'm Martin Bass. I'm the Customer Service Manager at C-Scope International Metal Detectors. I'm a relative new member of staff at C-Scope. I've only been there 34 years now. So I'm allowed a key to the front door, but not the key to the toilet roll cupboard yet. Been in customer service for, where are we? Over 25 years now. And my idea is, my staff's idea is just treat the customers how you'd like to be treated when you go in the shop. And hopefully we're doing a good job by having that approach.
Well, you certainly get no complaints from me from what I've heard from people discussing yourself and such like.
Thank you.
C-Scope have got, well, the best reputation, I think, of any British machine and widely in the universe.
Yep, true.
yeah.
So, I'll hand you. I'm sure Adrian's about to speak, so I'll hand you over to Adrian.
No, I was just about to say, I was talking to Dan, the owner of Treasure Hunting magazine, and he was saying the other day he's trying to dig out a copy from 40 years ago where you had your first advert in there for C-Scope machines. You know, it was a line drawing then. And it amazes me today to think, now we look in the magazine, we see a lovely double-page spread of glossy pictures and screens and all features. But 40 years ago, it was a rotating line drawing, an artist.
That's it.
And
You do realise I've probably got that copy in the drawer here.
And at the time, it was probably, because they weren't cheap when they originally launched metal detectors, 10, 20 quid or whatever. And, you know, it was all mail order, pre-internet. And I think if you were a business then supplying rubbish customer service, you would have sunk within weeks. And to be able to deal with mail order, telephone, no email problem, returns by the Royal Mail, less said about that. And we've got many others now. But it's great. My granddad's first machine was a C-Scope, and the first machine I used was a C-Scope, and my dad's first machine was a C-Scope.
Ditto.
And you've produced some fantastic machines over the years. It's gone a bit quiet recent years.
Yes, that's fair.
But I think a lot of people forget you're not just making metal detectors for hobbyists. You're world leaders in search technology for commercial companies.
That's very true.
You don't just make metal detectors for idiots like me to go and find sort of ring pulls at the weekend. You actually make things that can potentially save businesses thousands of pounds and cause lots of issues and roadworks, without going into detail. But your site on the hobbyist side is full development involved in it, but it's a small part of the business.
Absolutely.
And there's something which, we're talking metal detecting tonight, but when I was a kid, I used to sail, and I used to sail a little sailing dinghy called a topper and a laser, little tiny dinghies. And I only reminded myself the other day, C-Scope, the company is linked with Topper sailing dinghies. You make sailing dinghies as well. Yeah. So a British company, I mean, it's random. You've got a multitude of skills So it's quite interesting to learn that the first metal detector I used was a Seascope, and the first sailing dinghy I went in was from Seascope, in theory. You thought about a detector on a boat? No.
No, it has been talked about. It has been talked about.
But no, it's Dan at Treasure Hunting said it's been lovely, seeing the Evo, which hopefully we'll get to chat about shortly. Being launched and showing British manufacturing at its best, because people see it as a new metal detector, but this is a metal detector designed and manufactured in the UK, which is something we should all be proud about. And it's something which is, for me, just down the road. I've never been to a factory. Machines have never gone wrong. But it's something which is great and should be celebrated. And we'll talk more about that now, shortly.
Well, Marcus Ragden's just wrote he first visited Seascope age 16 with his father. He's now 55.
Hi, Marcus.
Welcome, Marcus, and also welcome to the room now, Mark Betcher, Scotty B, Rick Hill, Treasure Woman, Stan's Lad, Peaky Flinders. Oh, that's Luke anyway. Chris Nagy, the JCB Detector Digger. That's Darren Richardson. And Andy Knock and Craig Hearn as well from Celtic Stags, who I've just told everybody never accept a phone call from him.
I think you're off his Christmas card list.
I won't. He's proper Welsh, lives in South Wales, and I've made him promise that when the baby's being born, that him and his wife are going to have in several months, he's going to come to Congleton and have it to have an English baby. So we're sorted.
Okay. I just hello to Andy.
That's if Wales will let you out.
Sorry, Dave. I'll just say hello to Andy Knott, because Andy's currently got the Evo as well, hasn't he, Martin?
That's right. Yeah, one of our sort of field testers at the moment, just working on the last few minute sort of tweaks and adjustments on it.
So we've briefly mentioned the Evo, and that's why you're here tonight, Martin. Obviously, for people to learn more directly from yourself. So tell us all about the Evo and how it's come to be.
Right, the Evo. A couple of years ago, we decided, we got a little bit behind on the metal detecting scene, and it was time to bring out something a bit more modern, something people wanted to enjoy using. They all wanted a display, they wanted a menu. All this wasn't new to Seascope. Some of you will remember the New Force R1 from 12, 15 years ago, and the Seascope 1220R, which are old models by today's standards. We started getting back into the sort of detecting scene by attending Detectorval in 2018, and realised that there was a space in the market for a new Seascope machine. Like you and Adrian have said, your first detectors were Seascope. I know Dave's dad had a Seascope. Adrian's talked about his dad having a Seascope. A lot of fond memories for Seascope, but we found that people had moved on. They wanted the processor machine, the menu, the lightweight, etc., etc. So we decided it was time to do something, and do something we did. We were all set to go earlier this year, but one word that's been bandied around over and over again, I'm afraid, is coronavirus. And if that hadn't hit us, the Evos would have been in the shops months and months ago. But like any other manufacturing and any other business, this last 6 to 8 months, we were sort of affected by it severely, but we're on the home run now.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I was there at Detective last year. I spent a lot of time talking to yourself and the other Martin and the other chap whose name eludes me. I only know the other one's name is Martin because it's the same as yours.
No, his name's Simon, actually.
Oh, right, is it? I always thought it was Martin. The big lad was called Martin. Well, there you go. Simon.
Now, there was myself, another Paul, and Simon.
Well, there you go. I've got it all.
Simon's the guy that actually did all the design and development work on the Evo. And it's funny that Adrian mentioned old Seascope advertising from years ago, because if you've got the Searcher or Treasure Hunt from, say, 35 years ago, there's a little boy digging in the gravel on the beach with another chap. Now, the other chap is Martin Fry, who owns Seascope, and the little boy He's the guy that's designed and done all the development work on the Evo.
So I'm gonna go through all the thingies to find a C-scope thing now.
Just keep your razzle to the side, Dave.
I know, yeah, it's because I went back and knocked the green screen. So go on.
I mean, I've got my C-scope here, Martin. Right, it's a bit muddy, obviously.
Good. At least it's been used.
Yeah, very, very much been used. And I don't know how we're going to do it. I'll turn it on. Very quick turning on. But you've got the little dials.
The clock. We call them clock faces, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. I don't know if you wanted to explain the benefits of having that and the features.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. The idea of having the clock faces on the screen all the time is that you can see what the menu settings are without actually having to stop detecting. So, some detectors, if you want to alter something, you have to stop, go into menu, adjust sensitivity, or adjust volume, or adjust brightness. With the Evo 6000, the settings are still on the screen. So you don't have to necessarily stop. You just look down, oh, that's fine. If you do want to adjust something, this is where it gets clever. When you go into menu, the detector carries on working. Now, you might have seen on the screen the large target ID numbers.
Yeah.
When you're in the menu, the target ID numbers shift to the smaller display on the left, and your menu settings are the big numbers. So you can adjust your volume, your disc level, your iron volume, whatever. But the machine is still working, and you can see it's still working whilst you're doing your adjustments. And we think that's quite a nice little touch, and just makes it that little bit easier to use.
Yeah, it's nice seeing something that's different. For me, I'm fortunate I get to use a lot of machines, so jumping between a machine is quite an easy thing. So whether it's a Vanquish to a Simplex or to Deus or whatever, it's similar sort of interface. At first, when I turned the machine on, I'll be honest, it was a bit daunting.
Yeah.
And then in 5 minutes, I thought, yeah, this is quite an intuitive kind of way. Is this something Simon has come up with, or was it everyone at C-Scope, or was it something you wanted to be able to have over other manufacturers?
Well, it's mainly Simon. Simon's had a rich and varied career in the electronics industry, and has been involved in software writing for tens of years, and he's worked for some very big names in the industry. I don't know if I'm allowed to say. He certainly worked for BT for a long time and has done software writing for them. And understanding menus and what people expect and people like from a menu is certainly one of his fortes. And very early in the game, he said, no, we need to do this, this, and this. So someone that's not necessarily 100% au fait with a menu system or a computer system could pick it up, and after perhaps a bit of a sit down and a nice coffee and reading a book, they're going to be up and running, and hopefully they'll find it quite intuitive in its use. And we've got a sort of one of what we call a tame detector. He's a sort of friend of the company, and for years he's been coming in. He's got a 6MX and a 4MX. He's got a macro as well, but we can't all be perfect. But he said, I don't know if I want another machine with a menu. I find it all a bit daunting. I'm not computer literate. So I just gave it to him. I said, have a go with this, mate. And see what you think. I just left him for 10 minutes, and he was over the moon. He said, oh, it's far more straightforward than I thought. You just find what you want, hit go, and it's done for you. So we think we've come up with a winner, and I hope you guys think so as well.
Yeah, it's, I mean, the head unit on the machine is big.
Yes.
There's a big display, and in Treasure Hunting magazine, I've done put it beside the I think it's the Simplex or the Equinox. It is big, and I think someone's just in the comments about if you're a woman, it looks like you need big hands. I can honestly say, hand on heart, this grip. I mean, you say about Simon developing the software and interface. Was he responsible for the design of the grip?
How did you guess? Yes, it's a soft grip molding.
This is silicon rubber. Silicon, isn't it?
It's a. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I know it's a different plastic to the rest of the case to give it a slightly springy feel.
This to me reminds me of. I did remember what I was going to say tonight, but holding this is like when you're a kid and you get a toy gun and you go out in the garden and you think, I am almighty, I'm going to honour it. And the balance I found and the grip, this grip to me, I've had a lot of machines, the grips have improved over the years because historically it was sort of, without being rough, a bike handle or a mushroom grip, foam, which I detest because it picks away. This grip, it's been out in rain, wind, but absolute pleasure to hold. The ergonomics of this, I've got, I'd say medium-sized hands, or small if my wife asks, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And I went out on Sunday in the rain, and I don't know what sort of silicone or rubber you use, but it gripped more when it got.
That's all part of it. We spent a lot of, not as much time on the electric. We spent a lot of time on the ergonomics of it, particularly the hand grip and getting the balance right. Because we know a lot in our early days of doing research, talking to people at Detectable and the UK do, Regton Detectnics, Craig at Crawford's, Peter LP, all these good people. What do you want from a detector?
Yeah.
And a lot of them said, well, it's ease of use and comfortable. People are going to be out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours at a time. They don't want to be going home with tennis elbow or a worn out shoulder or whatever. It's going to be nice and comfortable. And that was incorporated into the design. And anyone that's picked it up already will say, oh, yeah, it's quite light. It is well balanced.
Yeah, well, it's British.
Yes.
Definitely, because the finish on the injection moulding and the screws, and I did notice something the other day, which I quite liked. These little, on here, little brass ended screws, so they're not plastic. You can adjust the shaft. But on the ergonomics side, I really liked it. The thing also, which I wanted to talk about, was it's waterproof.
It is, yeah.
Which is, for me, a massive bonus because when you've got something in your hand worth many hundreds of pounds and it's pouring down with rain, or like me, you regularly fall in ditches and streams. My detective mate is probably going to comment on that. I quite often get my machines wet or forget, leave them out in the rain when I'm in the car. It's IP.
You've got me there. It's much higher than 65. It's got to be about 85. But you could drop that in a river.
68 is down to 3 foot.
No, it's around about 68 at the moment. Certainly you can drop that in a river. Pick yourself up, dust yourself down, pick it up, and that'll be fine still.
That'll be me next month.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
You've done that with a similar sort of plastic. So for those who want to see, there's a little thing on the back here. You pull it out, and I can't show it. But you've got your USB-C. Am I right?
USB-C. That's your charger and your software update port.
Yeah, which I've done quite a few of since the machine.
You will do. You get a charger and a lead with each Evo in the box. You haven't got to go out and buy another lead. You haven't got to go out and buy a charger. And it's a charger and data lead. So when the software updates are available, plug it into your computer and update the firmware to the latest version. And that will work on a PC and a Mac as well. Yeah.
Hats off to you because I use a Mac. So I struggle when it's not on a Mac. Something Pete Terrell raised, which is I'd like to answer before you, if you don't mind. It's called the 6000. What is in the name? The way I feel, it's a machine that's going to evolve. And the reason I say that is because when I first received it, I'll be honest with everyone on here, it's probably a while back, Martin, turned it on in the garden, absolutely fine, took it on the field. There were issues with sensitivity, discrimination, recovery speed. Emailed you or yourself, or was it Paul, or might be Simon?
Probably Simon, yeah.
Within minutes, not minutes, within hours, I got an email, software update, which on a Mac is really great. It's like an app through the App Store sort of thing. Plugged it in, did the firmware update, took it out, it improved. Then I had another issue, sent you an email, and you updated it, and it improved. So the way I see it, it's a machine that, it's going to evolve on software updates to improve its sensitivity, its depth, or whatever you want. Possibly in the future, inland mode may have 2 other modes, which is sort of deep, slow speed, fast, shallow. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's something that you can control for us when we buy it. So it's not literally buy it and there you are, like a lot of machines were in the past.
So what's the significance of the 6000 in the name?
Right, here we go. Well, the 6000 is a bit of a nod to the 6MX, which is, well, when the Evo's is currently our top end machine. Much loved. We sells in very big quantities, and people like it because it's easy to use. It's switch on and go. So we thought people like that. So is it like a nod to the 6000 and the 6, and the extra 3-digit 6000 and the Evo, as Adrian's already said, we've evolved. We're moving on. That's basically it. We spent months and months trying to think of a name for it as well, but then one of our colleagues said, "Well, it's evolved. Let's call it the Evo," and the Evo 6000 was born.
There's another question from Nicola Roberts. Not a question as such; it's something that she has seen. She said, "It looks like you'd need big hands to use it. Would it be comfortable for a woman with smaller hands?"
I can vouch. Dave,
are you a woman with small hands, Adrian? Before we go any further,
on Saturdays on the third weekend of the month, yes. Outside that, I put the Evo on the beach 2 weeks ago, and my wife and my daughter were really fortunate to be with me and be able to use it as well. Because any new machine I get, I like to give it to someone who's never really detected before and say, "Go and find something." So my daughter's 20. She's got fairly small hands. She held it. She swung it around on the beach, and it was absolutely fine. It's the hands thing. I always struggle in the past with a machine that has a perfect grip when you hold it and try it. As soon as you've been out in the field for a couple of hours, don't know whether it's my hands get bigger or it moves up and down the shaft. I've had blisters before, so. It's a bit like a bike handlebar. A bike grip is always bigger than your actual hand, unless you buy one from China or something. So with the Evo, I can easily put my hand round there, and there is space. So I can move it forward, I can move it back. You can easily, well, I can show you on here actually. You can easily, if I hold my hand at the back, well, if I've got my hand right at the front there, which is comfortable, I can easily get all the buttons easily. Can reach further. So you can see it's not no, the hand grip isn't the problem. The weight, it's not the lightest metal detector out there, but I don't know what Martin and his team have done, because I went out detecting on Sunday for over 8 hours and it was lovely. It's the balance. I don't know how you test in your manufacturing or your 3D CAD software design on the balance, Martin, but the balance for me was spot on. I'm 5'10".
Well, the balance really, Adrian, not so much CAD, was old school, just getting people to stand there and moving things about and tweaking the stem length. You'll probably see there's a little bend in the stem just below the control box.
Yeah.
You haven't dropped it or broken it. That makes a huge difference on the balance of the machine. And we tried probably 25, 30 variants of that bend before we were happy with it. And going back to what I think her name was Nicola was saying, some of the ladies who are building the Evo now, one of them is quite petite, and she's held it, and it felt fine. You know, it's like putting a glove on. She said no problems with it at all.
One quick question, Martin. The shaft is steel,
aluminium,
sorry,
powder coated aluminium.
What's the bottom bit? Fiberglass.
It's plastic, injection molded plastic.
So it's solid, isn't it?
Solid, yeah. It's bomb. Well, it's hollow. It's hollow, but it's solid at the end where it bolts to the 30. But it is bomb proof.
I'm trying to break it, but no.
you won't break that.
Can I just butt in, chaps? I just want to say hello to Jet Ski John. John, and hope you are bearing up, young man, and feeling better. We have been thinking about you, as we mentioned on the show every week. We're hoping that you're all right and getting back to full health. So thumbs up, John. Nice to see you. Sorry, do apologise. Just to let you know, in let me see, in just under 2 minutes, we'll be going over to our live draw for Diggers Dips as well.
On that note, Martin, I'll bring you onto the coil. I've covered the serial number up in case my mate's watching and he's trying to send it back to return. Could you tell me quickly, in 2 minutes, a little bit about the coil, and we'll get onto the single frequency at the moment after that.
Okay. It's a very lightweight 2D coil. Those of you in the know will know that 2D relates to the shape of the actual wiring within the coil. Or we at Seascope call them search heads. We always have done since we started in the mid-70s. We've avoided the term coil because in reality there's several coils inside a search head, so we're going to stick with the phrase search head. But it's, as I say, it's a 2D style one. It's lighter than the 2D head on the 6MX, even though it looks very similar. Got a lighter resin in there, which helps the balance and gives the detector its nice lightweight feeling.
Right, Luke, if you could share the screen for me, and we will go over now. Mr. Bass, if it's okay with you, when the counter reaches 0, a random number generator will appear, and it will choose 3 numbers which are related to a competition within the Big Detecting Show Facebook group. So if it's all right, I'm saying it slow because I'm doing it counting down and trying to waste time. When it reaches 0 and that's happened, if you'd be okay with yourself, if you can see it, would you be able to read out the winner, seeing you are this week's guest? Fantastic. And obviously, thank you again to Digger Dips for doing the draw for us and offering the tokens. So here we go. Adrian, 23.
69. Oh, no, 62.
I think it only goes up to 45.
36.
Hey, Martin, what do you reckon?
I can't see it, Dave. Sorry.
Can you not? Well, no. You give us a number between 0 and 45. We're both out anyway.
42.
Go for 42. 0, 1, 10. Number 10. So the winner is, because Martin can't see it, Dr. Ploppy. What a fantastic name.
That's a throwback,
I've no idea who Mr. Ploppy, Dr. Ploppy is, but congratulations. Digger's Dips will credit that to your account as soon as can be. Dr. Ploppy. Who's Dr. Ploppy? Own up, or am I going to have to go through the list? I'll go through this. So, adverts time, and we will be back with you momentarily.
Our most loved ones, kids, hooked on technology and disconnected from nature. And we, as parents, try to encourage them to go outside, explore and play, and teach them history. Yet, it seems hopeless at times. Nocta Macro. Introducing the world's first waterproof kids detector series. Mini and Midi Horde. Easy to use. Lightweight and compact. Finds, discriminates, and pinpoints. Just like an adult's detector. Share your hobby with your kids to build great family memories. Let your kids discover a world full of adventure, experience and excitement of discovery right outside their door. Mini and Midi Horde, world's first waterproof kids detector series for the young treasure hunters of the future.
I'm Dave D, and you're watching XP Team USA.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I found some C-scope images from way back when. The first is a rather groovy January 1982. Look at that.
Oh my God.
Gifts for Christmas. Them stars are all gleaming there, aren't they? Second up was this one. That the VLF-TR 1200 ADC.
What year is that, Dave?
That one is June 1981.
Oh,
and the final one, again in 1982, was the inside back page. Look at that. Good old C-scope. We all know them. We all love them. John, he's got back to me and he said that he's had the heart up, so I hope everything's gone smoothly there, my friend.
Good luck.
So all is getting back to health there. So sharing screen again, we're going to go over to this week's viewers finds. I got it right. See how we got it right then? How good am I? Viewers find. Oh, in fact, before I have done this. Congratulations to Anthony Jones, last week's main prize winner. There he is with his prize package from the composite cleaning pencil company, Mr. Graham Dempsey, from last week. Fabulous prize, that. Loads of things in it, and books are absolutely stunning. Next one was, this is some of our range of merchandise available through the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine shop, archmdmag.com/shop, and you'll also find lots of other groovy Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine things as well. I like that picture, it's mint. Look at her. Next up, the Detector Network, as you heard us mention earlier, they have now released their app. And if I remember correctly, Scott telling me, I'm sure that image there is a man holding the C-scope. Oh no, that one there. There's a C-scope. There it is. So yes, Detector Network. He did give me the link for you to go away and download it. But if you look for Detector Network on the internet, he's added a Google button on there, so you click on it and go and download the app straight away. And I think it's great. What do you think, Adrian?
It's full of adverts, and it keeps it's absolutely brilliant. It's Android only at the moment due to costs and development. All Apple things cost a little bit more, which is the way things work. But yeah, I've got it on my phone. I've seen a lot of people downloading it. I've not seen one negative comment. And I'd just like to personally say thank you to Scott, because I know he's under a lot of pressure. This guy does this not as his full-time job. He does it as a favour to all us guys, and he's trying as hard as he can to make it an ongoing full thing for everyone to use. He's putting a lot of time in it, and it's got a lot of features coming soon. It's got, I can't say too much, but I had a chat with Scott the other day, and there's so many. Get the app, download it, and soon you'll see some updates which are like, wow, this saves me on my camera.
Yeah, it's bob on, fair play. Even I've started using it.
Yeah,
because I was a bit slow.
The Detector Network's a great site, but sadly, like all of us, we all have an app on our phone, and it's laziness, isn't it? You don't type in a web address nowadays unless you're sitting in front of your laptop. So yeah, it's growing. A lot of people are signing up. Posts are getting more popular now, and
fair dues.
You won't get any issues like I saw tonight. My mate Julian, Evan Hart, and Stephen Gray having issues with Facebook, and no doubt you have Dave blocking you because you.
Oh yes.
Untoward.
Something I've done in February.
You won't get pulled into that on the Detector Network. You won't get pulled into Trump. You won't get pulled into sort of COVID. Yeah. It's about detecting. Yeah. It's what it's about. So, the worst case scenario is you slag off someone's coil, which is the end of the world. So, yeah,
Next up is this fine piece of work. Now, this is it's made with World War II bullet cases, obviously melted down and created into this. And it's been made by Nick West of Metal Detecting War Relics, that you can see in the chat room and also Facebook group. Now, this particular sculpture will be going into auction for a charity for veterans in the near future. And he sent me an image of another one he's got planned as well to make. But that is absolutely stunning, and I hope it makes an absolute bomb in the. I don't mean a World War II bomb, but a bomb in the auction.
Lovely.
So, just wanted to put them on there. Anyway, on to viewers' finds. Now, first up is by Billy Mullet Murray, and it's a fantastic little silver cross. I'm not going to spend as much time as I normally do tonight, because there's absolutely loads of images, and obviously we need to speak and look at the images for C-Scope as well. But a lovely little find, that, Bill. Thank you for sending that in. His second one was this. He asked if anyone had any idea. Now, personally, to me, I've seen something not dissimilar in the past. I think it's from a metal detecting pal of mine, Graham, and it was a palm guard, and it looked not dissimilar to this. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if the hive mind have any ideas, please put it in the comments box, and I'll get that information passed over to Billy. What do you think, Adrian?
How big is it?
I don't know. It's that big. Palm size to me.
Well, there's no scale there.
Yeah.
It's everyone who's got the opportunity, download a scale guide, because it does.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at that, it looks like it's on a laptop, so it looks quite big. I can see the mouse thing. So,
palm guard size.
Yeah, it does look palm guard size. It's got a bit of,
This was from Carl Lovell, and basically, I think it's a little head off a figurine of some variety. So that was the first image.
Yeah.
Shows it's hollow. And that was a close-up. It's a little bit blurred, but I was thinking something off some form of little lead figurine.
Yeah, tobacco or something, potentially. I don't know.
What do you think, Martin?
Not really sure. I mean, I'm looking at it on quite a small screen. It's nice. You can see a nice bit of detail on there.
Let me see if I can. There you
That's
go. Is that any better?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's. Ooh.
It's a grumpy man, whoever it is. This is from Deborah Spare Smith, and it is a dog or a hound spout. You'll see it better in a minute, but it's a spout off a teapot or something. Or not a teapot, obviously, a bronze pot pouring device. Yeah. But you can see the dog's head. There's his ear, and there's his nose, what have you, with the spout in its mouth.
Nice photos, white background, perfect.
Lovely little piece. That's a better view of it. This is Darren Richardson. He's been out this weekend. He's had no silver this week, but he has had a lead token again. Lovely red lead token there. There it is. Another one to add to his fine collection. Scotty DeBay of Dirt Diggers UK found this seal matrix with his multi-cruiser.
Is that a surface find?
Yeah.
Oh.
How lucky is that?
Yeah. That's lovely, though.
John Clayton. This was found in the area of hangings in Chester, where the hangings used to be in Chester. It's a silver cap badge or badge of some variety. Again, this is a chop marked coin. Now, he did share a book regarding chop marks, but I'm not 100% certain what they are. But I don't understand why there's so many 8s stamped on the surface.
Yeah. I was reading about those the other month.
That's a closer up view. His next one, this is off Goodrington Beach in Devon. And it basically I haven't downloaded all the pictures, unfortunately. But if you go onto the big Detecting Show Facebook page group, you'll be able to see these images. If that turns over, it actually looks like a fingernail. So I don't know again if it's of some form of sculpture. This is a badge off the HMS Rodney naval badge. And this was a button from a pre-Royal Tank Regiment. It's a lovely old button, that, isn't it? He wasn't sure on what this was, I think I remember correctly. And that's the other side of that. This was I think it was a penknife, or was it a razor? But it had somebody's name stamped on it as well.
I saw that, yeah.
And then there's this little one, and I think he said there was gilding and blue glass within.
Wow.
Oh, no, sorry, that was Jock Murray, not John Clayton. This was John McPherson. Now, I thought this was gorgeous. You can see all the markings in it. And I asked a few people, and where's my paper? Is that my paper? There's my paper. I haven't printed it out. I got the information back and asked Mr. Evan Hart what it was, and he thought it was some form of votive axe. Now there's a view with a 10p piece, so it's actually a lot smaller than first thought, but you can see the markings on it, and it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, that is really nice.
So we're not 100% sure, but it does look axe-shaped. This is Nick Evans, his daughter on the beach.
I thought you'd say he found a child. Yeah.
Found a child. If lost, returned to lighthouse. Nicola Roberts sent in this. Now, she's not 100% sure, and that looks a great little fine scale, doesn't it, with all the dates on or what have you. If this is a copper spoon or not. So there's a series of images of different angles. So you can see it's probably the bowl of it, if it is a spoon, around 1, 2, 3, about 3 or 4 centimeters long.
I'd say that is based on how copper is in the soil and gets mangled. Yeah, that's been hit a few times.
Mm. This is Scotty B. Oh, sorry, this isn't Scotty B. It's one of Scotty B's children who's actually taller than him, but that's another story. And he's took a load of pictures of her out and about this weekend with him metal detecting.
Lovely to see.
I think this is his other daughter, or unless it's the other one with her hat off. Don't quote me. But as you can see, taller than Scotty already. Scotty Space Pants, as he's now known. The thing is, if anybody's ever met Scotty's wife, Katrina, she's about 6'3". She's not that big, but she's big. So any children that they'll have together are all going to be bigger than Scotty at some point anyway. And the ring that they found as well. So well done, and thanks for them pictures, Scotty. Shane Holdcroft, I'll zoom in on this one. It's a nice little special coin. It's a Soldino of Antonine Vernier.
Wow.
No idea what that is, but I presume it's Roman. As we know, I don't know. Now, Shane Holdcroft, this was the second image that he sent. He wasn't particularly sure on that one. And also this one, which I think he said was silver, and you can see stars on it. So that's a peculiar shape, isn't it? Of something with stars on like that.
Yeah.
Initially, you'd say if it was round, it'd be a coin. But again, anybody has any ideas, please give us a shout on that. And as I can't see what's going on, just give us an idea of which find that you're actually identifying. This is Stuart Payne, the one who had the bomb last week up in Scotland. And he's had this little beautiful thing, which he said is rose gold coloured. And he's unsure as to what it is. I've asked him to get in touch with Graham Dempsey and get the wax and such like, and see what you can come with there. He thought it was some form of stylus because there was a monk's sanctuary near where he lives in the Highlands of Scotland. So he thought it may have been some form of stylus or some form of tools that the monks were using. But there you go. That's a good picture of it.
Nice.
But personally, no idea. Now, this was Julian shared one of the TH magazines, Treasure Hunting magazine's posts, and this was a guy called Ian from Scotland who's had a spear up, Bronze Age spearhead. Isn't that absolutely stunning? Now, he put it in the Facebook group, and I thought I've got to show that because it's just so beautiful, and with the mud still attached, it's a dream to find something like that.
Doesn't look too deep either.
No.
Brilliant, isn't it?
And that is all of the viewers' finds for this week. So thank you, each and every one of you. I'll put a post up again next week asking you to show us your finds, and we'll get them back on next week's show. So back to Martin. What?
No. I'm glad, Dave, you didn't show what I found. And don't bring it up because I've forgotten what it is. This morning.
The mushroom?
Yeah, don't bring it up.
Oh, no, mate, I'm sorry. It's coming because I've got it in the list.
Martin, thank you for joining the show.
You're very welcome.
A question from Jason Jones. He said, why has there been so many updates with the machine? And I think people need to realise it's still being tweaked, as we say.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
And I'm a strong believer if something's wrong or broken, it's not an issue of why it's wrong or broken. It's how quick the person or the manufacturer rectifies it. And I can say that you're working very hard on you and the team at Seascope in chucking out updates and fixing things to get things on board, which, you know, is an answer to. And Nicola Roberts also said, how small does it fold up to? Now, I could fold my machine now. All I can say is I've got a Golf and it fits in the boot sideways. So I haven't measured it, but if it fits in my boot sideways, I'm happy with that. If it doesn't, there's a problem. It's not as compact as a lot of machines out there, but the thing I like, obviously, the coil goes flat, and you've got the traditional little things, what are they called? Ball bearing things and stuff. But it folds up to what? I don't know. Do you know what the size is, Martin?
If I was at the factory, I could tell you. If you asked Nicola to drop us an email tomorrow at service@seascope.co.uk, I'll give her the dimensions.
Luke, would you be able to run a banner across the screen for service@seascope.co.uk?
Yeah,
Right.
email us tomorrow, Nicola, and I'll answer you tomorrow when I get into the factory.
Just to interject before I forget, Jetski John is asking to do a shout out to Mr. John Farger. He's big in the metal detecting community from the early days, was involved in Searching Mag as editor and was involved in writing on the Treasure Act. So there you go, there's your shout out. Sorry, carry on.
So the other question, which a lot of people have been asking, frequencies. Now, obviously, a lot of machines out there are multi-frequency, multi-IQ, whatever you want to call it. Seascope have opted for 17.5 currently with the coil, and hence the name. I think things might evolve, but what are the plans going forward for any additional frequencies?
Yeah, there will be very shortly. There'll be additional search heads available. We're going to have a high frequency one and a low frequency one. What we've done with the Evo and our other detectors, we've chosen 17.5 kilohertz because it's a good all-round frequency for English, UK, and sort of European soil conditions. We find it's a good all-rounder for those sites. And what we've also done, and this is a Seascope thing, and it's quite important. The search head is resonated at 17.5 kilohertz. So don't worry too much about the technology or the description. All it means is but at 17.5 kilohertz, it's far more sensitive than any other frequency. So if you're driving if the search is at resonance, it's far more sensitive to that little coin 6 or 7 or 8 inches down than a searcher that isn't at resonance, the one that's been fired with all different frequencies at the same time. And that's a technique we've been using for 10, 20, 30 odd years, and it always works for us. And just to perhaps look at it coming at it from another angle, those of you that like music or go to concerts a lot will see on the side of the stage loads of speakers. Okay, and those of you like your hi-fi at home, you've probably got, if you take the front of your loudspeaker, there's 2 or 3 speakers in the box. Okay, not just one speaker. Now, if we put that into metal detecting terms, we feel a search head, or coil as some like to call it, is far more sensitive if it's resonated or resonant at one particular frequency. Now, if we go back to our loudspeakers at concerts, a disco, or your hi-fi at home, you'll find there's 2 or 3 different speakers in the box. And the reason for this is one speaker cannot handle all the frequencies. So you've got a speaker at the bottom for your bass, another speaker halfway up for your mid-range, so that's the voices and the flutes and the clarinets, for example. And there's another speaker, there's the high frequencies, like the cymbals, tambourines, that sort of thing. So we go back to a detector, we feel that one search head, like the loudspeakers, cannot handle efficiently several frequencies. So we've stuck to one, we've resonated the search head, and for us, that works very well. And when we bring out these other search heads in the quite near future, they will be resonant at a high frequency and a low frequency, so you get the best performance out of them. And that's a C-scope thing. We've always done it that way, and that's what we're going to stick to for the time being.
Wow, thank you. That was a very in-depth description.
I practiced that.
I never thought of it like I was expecting, because it works. I've never.
You can have that if you want.
Yeah. I've never thought of that before. That's very interesting. I've been out with the machine now for 40 hours plus, and obviously detect on the UK soil. I've been on the beach. I was very impressed with it on the beach. I have
Good man. Yeah, we like it on the beach.
Yeah, the beach mode was really good. I straight away thought there was a problem with the machine because it was too quiet. So obviously I'm testing it and playing with it, and I thought there was a problem, but found a 3-ring bullet within 15 minutes, about 6 inches down in the sand. So I knew it was working. And then I went out, not last weekend, weekend before, on the field that I tested machines on, and I was so excited when I found this, which Dave will tell you what it is.
Will I?
It's Martin. Do you know? Did I? I don't think I've told you what that is, have I?
No, you've showed it to us.
Yeah, you can't really see it on there. It looks absolutely cruddy and rusty, but it's actually a 10 to 40 AD Celtic silver, not cunnilingus, Cunnilingus spiky silver Celtic coin. And I found that about 6 inches down on the inland mode, basic, literally as you turn the machine on 2 weeks ago. And it is a very rare Celtic coin. And I'm really chuffed that I found it with that. So thank you very much, because thank you for letting me find that coin. Because the way I look at it, the machine for me at the moment, there's a few blips and issues with discussing which you're tweaking, but it works. It works. And that's my favourite find this year. Yeah. And I found gold this year. I found lots of things this year. But to me, to find something that's very rare, so small, 6 inches, it's not deep, but it was ringing in at about 45, 50. I was really pleased with it, and I found bullets and bits and bobs. So that search head on English soil, or have you tested it on European soils?
Oh yeah.
So
Adrian, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pull up the images that yourself and Kevin sent, so people can obviously see them ones. So there's no issue. You can carry on talking exactly as you were, but I'm just going to obviously be showing the images. wherever they are. There they are.
Yeah.
C-scope.
The one thing I didn't mention, Martin, was the headphones, which I know we're not on screen at the moment, but
That's okay.
the machine comes with or without headphones.
That's correct, yeah.
But
Bluetooth low latency aptX headphones, so they're nice and quick, and they match the transmitter inside the control box very well. You can use them on other electronic devices like your mobile phone, and I'll probably get shot for saying this, but you can use them on other brands of detector that use the same Bluetooth technology.
I've tried that and it works. Yes.
So these are Kevin Whitmore's images at the moment. So you can see, obviously, he's having an abundance of different variety finds as well. Crack on talking. I'm just scrolling through the images.
Kevin's machine's very clean. I wish I kept that. I apologise, Martin. Mine's covered in mud.
No, Adrian, it doesn't matter. As long as it's being used.
Yeah.
I think Kevin's just got shares in a microfiber cloth company. So he gives it a good buffing at the end of each session.
I didn't tell you, but I threw mine in the sea the other day and left it in there for 10 minutes on.
Can I make an observation? Obviously, I've not... I've held the C-scope at Detectable last year and obviously now, and I'm sure you'll like feedback. The handle on that, where you put your arm in, to me, is the most annoying thing about any metal detector, that strip. Because you can't, it's uncomfortable when I put your arm there, to me personally, with that strip there, because I never put my arm through it, because generally it's not the right size. I can't get it the right size for me, having big fat arms. So that annoys me greatly, that particular Velcro thing. Sorry, go on.
I can in there. The one thing I've noticed on the Evo, it says 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 notches to adjust the armrest.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the cloth strip that's actually inside where your arm goes. You know that you're supposed to open up and then put your arm through and then Velcro it on, so it's like an extension for your arm. That particular Velcro cloth thing.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Right. It's very, very big. That's my hand in there.
I can't see what you're doing because I'm obviously sharing a screen.
Right. Just to say that I've had other machines in the past where you can go to full size.
Yeah.
This is huge.
The fit of the Velcro strap around your arm.
Massive. If anything, I'd say it's too big, but it works absolutely fine. I mean, I'm trying to think. I could put my arm in there. See that?
No.
No, you can't.
No, there's loads of room, Dave.
4 or 5 inches. I know your arms, Dave, are like 12 inches.
I like Popeyes.
Yeah, like Popeye. You will have no problem with that. I think.
Kids, if you don't know who Popeye is, Google him.
Yeah.
Well, no, don't.
No.
But yeah, no, there's no problem on the strap. I did like adjusting the height of the. There's a lot of thought's gone into it. You've been working on this for a long time, Martin.
Yeah, we have.
I haven't found anything untoward with the machine. I've done a brief review, which will be soon in Treasure Hunting magazine. Obviously, I can't write a full review because I need at least a couple of months or so.
This image and a couple of the others, Kev's actually left the find out on the clod, and he's left the Garrett carrot in the hole, so you can actually see the depth that he's obviously acquired the find from. There's a few of them, so you'll know when you see them.
One thing I would say is the frequent sensitivity, Martin. A lot of machines I've had in the past, you turn your machine on, everyone wants to go for full sensitivity, get the best out of everything. And with the C-scope, you run up to 100, I recall. Now, most people would think, oh yeah, I'll run at 90, 95. With the Evo, I've been running at 85 and been getting very, very good depth. So above that, it gets a bit fidgety. But again, that's something. But what I like is I'm getting up to 85 with good depth and it's getting fidgety. If there's a few software tweaks in the future, potentially, I could get even more depth.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
What's this little peculiar object, Adrian?
Right. I will let people in the chat see what they think of that. If
Let me zoom in for those who are watching on a small screen. Not that much.
Comment. They'll all go, "Oh, it's got some nice. It's LED. It was found with the Evo this weekend, among something else." I'd be very interested. Mr. Julian Evan Hart was sent that, and he thought it might be a lid to a perfume bottle, but I don't think it is. He's not in the chat room. I don't think Jules is, but that is something which Gordon Bailey, if people out there are aware of him, he's been writing books for Greenlight Publishing for many, many years.
Metal detecting finds 1 to 5 plus others, weren't there?
Absolutely fantastic, and it really does pay. It sometimes I'm a bit of an idiot. Sometimes I'll have a find, and a lot of people just post it on a certain Facebook page and say, "What's this?" And someone will come back and tell you what it is, and you'll go, "Yeah, great, thanks." I love getting a book, opening it up, finding the find, reading a bit of research about it, why and what it is. And Gordon Bailey's book from, I think, 1998 helped me identify that. And I'd be interested. A butt plug. No, it falls out. After you've had it in for about a minute, it falls out. Try that.
Some more of your finds, Adrian. Little crotal bell there. Some buckles.
Yeah, that was first weekend out with the Evo. I haven't got my screen on full, so yeah, I think any detector is to be happy with that. Snuff box, crotal bell, buckles.
Oh, sorry.
Loads of buttons. Thimble, which I love. Everyone loves a thimble. I did find quite a few musket balls. They absolutely ring in really heavy on the Evo. But just to show you it works, that's on the beach. That was wet sand, gravel, as the tide was out in Essex.
You fell over?
Yeah, I've been drinking again.
Is this the find that you showed moments ago?
Yeah, it's very hard to depict, but that's what you'd expect for something 2,000 years old. That's the Celtic silver, Cunnibalinus spiky silver. And I've got to say thank you to the cleaning pencil company for that, because they helped me, well, their tools helped me clean that up. That's on the dry sand. And that's the lovely, sexy grit. And I've tried scratching that black off, and it doesn't come off.
Oh, you won't get that off, sir. Not even with Silicate Bang. It's very durable. Adrian, on the menu,
I don't know what you did to create that black on there, but yeah, beautiful coin, very rare. Those who are interested can Google that. I was very, very pleased to find that coin. Really pleased.
Adrian, when you was playing with the Evo, did you note on the menu the nod to the guitarist detectorist out there?
No.
The volume control goes from 0 to 11. Now, some people will go straight away, and others goes.
If anyone's hard of hearing, the one thing I would say, the volume is very high. So if anyone's got any hard of hearing issues, the volume there's no issues with the volume. I've been running it. I think I sent you an email, Martin, the other day. I was running it on 1 without headphones, and it was absolutely ample. So that's the button I found, which is
beautiful.
Yeah,
well, us old farts need the volume up quite high.
We do. I wish you had glasses on it as well. But yeah, lovely button I found.
Sorry.
Yeah, so there you can clearly. Sorry.
Oh, there you go. Back again.
So Martin, I don't know if you want to explain what that's all about.
Okay, I haven't got my glasses. Okay, so what you can see is a quick screenshot of the LCD or liquid crystal display. You can see the large numbers with the target ID. The numbers to the left of the screen were the ground setting. And as we've discussed before, there are 4 clock faces below showing you your sensitivity level, your discrimination level, your ion volume level, and your volume level. So the information is there all the time. And that's sort of one thing I want to sort of say to people. If you're interested in driving the machine as well as detecting with the machine, all your information's there, and I think you're going to enjoy using this detector.
So, my questions, me being the technophobe in the house, Iron volume. Now that's obviously right down, so that will
It's on one.
basically not tell you. You'll hear a low noise knowing it's iron.
Yes,
That's so. If it was all the way up, you'd hear iron as well.
That's it.
Disc volume, is that the? Go on, you tell me.
If you discriminate, let's say you've got your discrimination halfway up.
Yeah.
So a bit of silver paper you'd reject, and let's say a 9-carat gold ring you'd find. Now, if you've got your disc volume up, something like this 9-carat gold ring, you'd hear a beep 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 for the ring, and the silver paper you get a sort of a mid-tone.
Yeah.
But if you didn't want to hear what you discriminated against, you turn the disc volume down.
Right.
So all you'd hear is the high-pitched beep beep for the gold ring and nothing else.
Right.
It's very much. If you've got a 6MX, it's exactly the same as that.
Chris from Addicted to Bleeps did a great video about probably a year or two ago. Might be longer. It's my. Sorry, I thought my internet was going funny. On the 6MX, I said that right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. On the tones on there, and it is. You know, you've got to remember, C-Scope made machine.
Oh, his internet's gone funny.
Oh dear, it's frozen.
Well, I'll ask you the next one. Disc. Tell me about that one.
Disc. Well, it's the same as a variable disc control from day one. Minimum disc, you will find everything. So small bits of iron, silver paper, bottle tops, cigarette wrappers, your jewellery, your coins. As you progressively increase your level of disc, you're knocking out small bits of iron. The higher you go, you're knocking out iron and silver paper. Then you're knocking out iron, silver paper, and lead. If you go too far up the disc, you will start to ignore 9-carat gold.
Yeah.
We get a lot of people come in. You know, customers are always welcome at our showroom and factory in Ashford in Kent. At the moment, we're asking you to phone up and let us know you're coming. But once coronavirus is out of the way, you can come in when you like. They often say, well, I'm going to run it on disc 10. And we say, oh, hang on a minute. You're going to lose so much.
Yeah.
You're going to find pound coins, but don't you want to find the hammered silvers, your 9-carat gold? I go away and think about it. And, you know, they come in and we've got several test samples and we show them the effect of too much disc and too little disc. And at the start, I'd always we'd say to people, don't use any discrimination at all, especially if you're a newcomer. Zero disc and dig up everything that's there and get the hang and the feel of the detector.
And then your sensitivity, obviously, that's obvious to each and every. Even me, that one's obvious.
Yeah. Take it as high as you can go.
And obviously, each of the 4 settings, I take it they're the only settings. You don't have to go internally to play with menus and play with anything. These all work these all work in conjunction with each other by hit and miss and finding what you want.
That's right. I mean, there's no hard and fast rules how you drive it. I mean, because I work in the customer service department, and people often ring up and say, "What do I need to set this to?" And you say, "Well, no, there's no rules. You set it. You drive it how you want to drive it." You know, I say to the guy or lady, "What are you looking for?" Oh, if I just want to go out and enjoy myself, I say, "Well, sensitivity as high as you can. A little bit of discrimination to ignore the rubbish. Pick up everything else. Go and enjoy yourself." If someone's on a token hunt at a rally, then it's a different story. You cut out a lot of the iron and perhaps some of the foil. Discrimination, say a third of the way up, and away you go. It's
now,
entirely up to you.
On the bottom, we've got inland, so I'm presuming that there's more different settings for beach and such like as well.
Yeah, on the menu, there's the preset. There's all metal, inland, beach, and custom. Now you can design your own programs, and so you can save up to 10 of your own program. And even once you turn the machine off, it remembers it.
Yeah.
And even if you put your machine away for a week, 2 weeks, or a month, turn it back on again, go into menu, pull up your custom program, and there it is.
With you. So you've got four settings there then.
There's 4 preset programs, and then you can modify them as on top of that if you want. On the audio discrim, I know Adrian touched on the 3 tones, and the video Chris Rogers did, or sorry, Addicted to Bleeps did. There's 3 tones as standard on the Evo, but if you want more tones, you can go into the secret menu and wind it up to 36. But once again, it's a matter of personal choice. If that's what you want. If you just want one, you just want 3, leave it as standard.
Is that Luke?
Dave?
Hello?
No, Dave. Can you see
Oh, he's
me?
back. I can't see you.
Yeah, you look very
I've-
ghostly.
Yeah, that's because I'm in the middle of a power cut. So I'm currently streaming on 4G, so in the dark with my laptop screen. So yeah, apologies about that.
No, that's okay.
I don't know why, but yeah, going back to I missed a couple of minutes, but the Chris Addicted to Bleeps, I think he's currently reviewing the machine at the moment.
He is,
and,
yes, we know Chris very well.
And no doubt he will. I watched his video the other day, and if anyone's interested in the Evo, I think that's a great channel to follow because he's currently learning the machine like me and listening to the tones and what's coins, what's trash and stuff, and that's the way it works. And I think going back to the Evo, it's for me a lot of people have been commenting about how it compares to other machines. For me, it's not comparing a Golf GTI against a Ford Focus ST. It's comparing a Morgan against a Ford Focus ST. It gives you the same experience, the same pleasure and joy, but it's British made, and you can have a lot of fun with it, and you can tweak it and play with it. So I don't know what your thoughts are with that, Martin, but a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's not multi-frequency, it's not this, it's not that," and that brings me on to the price, which a lot of people have commented about. If you could just let us know what the price is for the standard machine and the headphones.
Right, yeah, certainly. Standard machine when it comes out, hopefully very soon. 679 with a built-in Bluetooth low latency aptX transmitter. If you want the Evo with the built-in transmitter and the wireless Bluetooth headphones, it's 779. That does include the VAT on both those prices. If you buy the detector without the headphones and later on you want to buy them from us or your favourite detector retailer, you'll be able to do that as well.
What's the warranty, Martin?
The warranty is the standard C-scope 2 years parts and labour. Once that 2 years has expired, there's another 3 years cover on the parts only. So if something happens, say in 4.5 years' time, if there's a part failed, then we cover that, and it's just a nominal charge for the labour and return carriage back to wherever you are.
Right. Okay. That's great. Thank you. Sorry.
We've got. I don't know those of you who've been to Seascape. We've got a full service and repair facility actually at our factory in Ashford in Kent. So it's not a case of sending it to another country, to another distributor. It comes to Seascape, we sort it out, and we send it back to you.
One thing I didn't mention, which has freaked me out a little bit, is the battery on the Evo. It's I've been out quite a lot now, and it's hardly gone down. And when I do need to charge it, it only takes 2 hours.
That's correct. That's right. We reckon you'll get 20 hours detecting off a single charge, and the charge you get supplied with the Evo, you don't have to go and buy another one, will recharge it from almost empty to full in 2 hours.
Wow. And the headphones,
the same charger charges the headphones and with the same connector 2 hours as well, and they're 20 hours usage.
I've got the headphones here, but I can't see because I'm literally in pitch black darkness. So I've got the headphones here.
I think
literally my house is literally pitch black. The housing manager she's gone to bed, I think. And the sun will be down in a minute because the Wi-Fi is obviously cut off. I can't be bothered to sort out.
They're going to crowdfund you for some candles, Adrian. Is that all right?
Yeah, don't mind, please. Yeah, all this furloughing. That I didn't mention. This is ridiculous. This is like the headphones that come with the machine. One thing I really, really like is each headphone inside has. I can't show it. This is like a Laurel and Hardy sketch.
Yeah.
You've got letters inside each headphone. You've got an L and an R, massive letters printed in the headphones. One thing I like is the controls are on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
So when you're detecting, you can get your hand on the machine and adjust the volume and malarkey all with your other hand, which is a nice stuff.
Yeah.
So well, I'm certainly looking forward to trialing one myself in the future. obviously I've held it at Detectable. I had a little play of it there, and it was a suitable machine for my size and what have you. And obviously now you've told me about the Velcro thing that goes around your arm. Again, that sounds suitable as well. So things are looking good.
We'll be getting one to you sometime soon, Dave, to play with.
Oh, much appreciated. Thank you very
on
much.
You're on our list.
I'll make sure I put 50p in my meter that night.
You're showing off now, aren't you?
Look at his green screen behind him.
No, I found the light on my phone, so yeah, I can see to go to the toilet.
You're being a bit Norman Collier though at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The youngsters won't know what that means, Dave.
Very, very Max Headroom as well. They won't know Max Headroom either, will they?
No.
Kids nowadays.
Youngsters, eh?
So, Martin, have you got anything else to add about the C-Scope or the Evo 6000?
I'm just looking at some of the questions coming up on the bottom of the screen. There's one that's come up a few times. Do we service a C-Scope 2M? The answer is a definite yes. Send it to us. We'll have a look at it and get you an estimate out, and hopefully we can sort it out for you. What I would say, I'm being totally honest, if the battery cover's missing, we haven't got any of them. If there is any other questions that we haven't covered tonight, drop us an email, service@cscope.co.uk, and we'll answer within a few days and hopefully answer all your queries and sort out any questions and observations you may have. But we are here to help. We're not open at the weekend, but Monday to Friday, 8 till 4:30, you'll be able to get hold of us. And the email address has just come up on the bottom of the screen now.
That's
Luke.
That's Mr. Higgins listening and acting, being proactive.
Yeah, bless him.
Will Hemo says, "Is this the Halloween special tonight, Adrian?" Mudslinger says, "My first metal detector was a C-Scope 1220B or something like that. Found my first hammer coin with it, and still call metal detectors scopes, and I'm out scoping metal detecting."
Good man. Good man.
Well, as Martin knows, and a lot of people in the audience know, my dad had a C-Scope 600. If you actually Google metal detecting, there's a picture of a young lad and a man metal detecting, and that's me and my dad. Yeah. Now, that unfortunately got taken away from me in a manner I'm not going to go into, but a young, lovely man who's disappeared from the face of the earth at the minute, Mr. Alex Savage. He brought one last year. He knew the story. He brought one to Metal Detectable last year and gave me it. And I was very, very emotional. And I thought, oh, C-Scope are going to get excited. I'm sure they'll like to see this. So I brought it over to Martin and the team, and it was taken off me, rewired, and made to work within a matter of minutes, wasn't it, Martin?
Yep. Yeah, we try and keep as many old C-Scopes going as we can. You probably, those of you who watch the Facebook group, C-Scope Metal Detector Owners, we did a gentleman's Metadec 1 the other week from 1981, fixed that up. He went and told his best mate. He also sent his Metadec 1 in, and it turns out they both bought them together from Regton in 1981, and today he sent me the photograph of them buying it in the shop in Birmingham. So that was a nice little story.
Gosh, mine must have been, I was about 4 or 5 on that picture. So it was 78, 79 when I was detecting with Dad. It's actually behind me now, but it's behind the green screen, and I'll knock it down if I go and get it. But it's mad, isn't it, how the whole shepherd's hook handle in comparison to today's metal detectors.
Oh, yeah, blimey.
So many of them out there still. I mean, there's hundreds of 650, 750, 850, 950s out there. All still doing a great job, and in some cases we can fix them as well.
Marcus Regton says that was would have been a 2020B, not a 1220B. Oh, 1220.
1220B, which the current 1220XD is based on.
Right.
And there's little bits of the 1220 in the Evo 6000.
Nick West said he'll be buying one. John Clayton says that his first goal was a C-Scope, and the cap badge that we showed earlier was also with a C-Scope. Marcus Regton says the image that you were on about from buying the machine in Regton's in the early 80s, could he have a copy of that, please?
Yeah, I'll sort it out tomorrow. Hassle me if I forget, Marcus.
So, again, Adrian, is there anything else you want to add?
Is there any electricians in the chat? I think it's my fuse box because I reset the RCD and it just tripped again. So I don't know what's going on.
But yeah, got the lights on.
Yeah, at least I got my phone and my laptop screen and stuff. But Martin, thank you very much.
No, you're very welcome.
Tonight. And
thanks for inviting me, guys.
It's been a pleasure. You know, you're more than welcome on any time. I know you haven't done the video version before. We've worked on the podcast in the past.
Well, we have, haven't we?
But obviously, this gives people the opportunity to look at finds, look at the machine, and you know, all the luck in the world to Seascope, because you know it's so well recognised and so well remembered, poignantly in the UK metal detecting. As I say, if not in the world, because I know a lot of people in America with old Seascopes as well. Again, can't thank you enough.
You're very welcome.
I've got some parish notices. Done that. On the archmdmag.com, there's an updated composite cleaning pencil review with bits added to it from last week. Next week, we will have Mr. Chris Rogers, Addicted to Bleeps. Now, I'm not 100%, but I think we won't be streaming next week via Peaky Finders. I think we'll be streaming directly via Chris's channel, because basically Chris then gets to speak to these followers on his thing as well, and we can only do that via one YouTube account. So we're going to be streaming, I think, next week by Addicted to Bleeps. So if you're not following them already, follow them. Alternatively, it will stream in the normal social media places, Facebook, etc. I'll even throw it in the Seascope room again, if that's okay, because obviously Chris, I'm sure, will give mention to the Seascope itself.
Yeah, that'd be a good show next week.
Where am I? Looking at that one. On the 5th of November, we're actually got more or less everybody confirmed for the rest of the year now, Adrian. We've got Mr. Scott Holden of Detector Network to discuss all the updates to that and the release of the application. The following week, we have Mr. Justin Critchlow discussing his recent Roman Horde find. 19th of November, one we've been waiting for. Mr. Nick West of Metal Detecting War Relics YouTube and Facebook group. Following that, Jason Massey of Detecting for Veterans. On the 3rd of December, awaiting confirmation, I'm going to make a phone call to confirm tomorrow. It's somebody a lot of people have been asking for us to have on in the past, and we're in a position now that we're able to sort that out. So we're hoping to have confirmation. Well, we will have confirmation tomorrow. The following week, we may be cancelling. Well, we will be cancelling on the Thursday. Hopefully within the next week, you'll know why. But we're going to be moving to the Friday for a reason. But we're going to leave you with bated breath on that, because it is an absolute massive announcement. And it's a smash it out at the ballpark show that's coming up. 7th and 18th of December, very good friend of mine. I wouldn't be probably doing this show if it wasn't for him giving the opportunity. Mr. Mark Ollie of TV's Lost Treasures, archaeologist, author, historian, musician, and all-round nice bloke. Following week will be our Christmas party. We never know what goes on in that, but some people get drunk. And the following week is New Year's Eve. So we're probably going to move the Xmas Eve and big New Year's Eve shows to accommodate everybody going out and about. And that will be hopefully a big year in review. So we'll be looking at everything that's gone on in the world of metal detecting, where it's been able to this year. So there you go. That's a rundown of the rest of the year's show. Again, Martin, it's been an absolute pleasure. A legend within the metal detecting world, if I don't say so myself. And I look forward to speaking to you again in the near future and having you back on the show, hopefully sometime next year, early part of next year.
Yes, to talk about the Evo fines and all the benefits.
Absolutely. Yeah. Give the option to.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, look forward to it. Look forward to it, guys.
So to end the show, I'm going to come up with one of our other videos that we found this week. I'll be sharing the screen when that's going. I've remembered to do audio, and we will end the show with this video, and it's a funny one. Good night, everyone.
Cheers, Dave. Cheers, Dave.
Please, stay where you are! Hands in the air! Stay where you are, please! Doing? One of his Get down on your knees! Down! Down!
Any weapons?
Any weapons on you? What are you doing out here?
Go on, Scott.
What are you doing on the field?
Go on, Scott.
A war? Doing what?
Put your hands where I can see them.
Right off. Put your foot on the floor. Why have you got too many clothes on? Just a disguise. Open your throat a bit.
Scott, something's just come through radio. There's been a theft in area. Have you got any tools in there you might use for a burglary? Where have you been in the last 10 minutes? Just what? That's where the burglary was.
Well, not all the way to the top.
Was you at the top of the road or was you somewhere else?
The factory.
PC, go tap him down.
Keep your hands. Oh.
Right, we're going to send the dogs. Send in the dogs. Hey! What the fuck? You fucking dimwit!
What is in the box? Say hello.
Hello.
What's in the box? Bananas. Have a look. What's in it? What is it? What is it? Nelly, what's in the box? Look.
Mini detector.
Mini detector.